In the workshop, a Cotswold Heritage Atlas Steam Plant Part 3, preparing the parts for mounting on the baseboard and making the water tank lid. The first job is to plug up the holes in the base of the engine because these are drilled in the wrong place. So I'm opening up the holes to a 1/4 inch diameter. A piece of silicone rubber tubing around the drill bit makes sure the holes are all the same depth. I'm using PVA wood glue which I apply to the holes and then I tap in the dowel. As I don't want to damage the base, I'm making sure that all these hammer blows are quite light. Because I measured and cut the dowels to length, they go into the holes perfectly. Here's the last one being fitted in place. And to make doubly sure that there's no pieces of dowel sticking out of the bottom of the base, I'm using a small flapper wheel in my Proxon motor tool. This is overkill really, but it just makes sure that none of the dowels or part of the dowels stick out past the wood. And that's one job done. I can't do any more to this until the adhesive is set. It's time to make the water tank lid. There are many different ways to do this job. I could part it off from a large piece of bar stock, or I can do it the way I'm doing it. This is a piece of 3mm thick brass sheet. As you've just seen, I simply draw around the tank using quite a thick felt tip pen. And now it's time to cut it out on the bandsaw. I'm cutting on the outside edge of the line, because when I drew this line I held the felt tip pen at an angle, and by making sure that I cut on the outside of the line, the cap is much bigger than I need it to be. And after cutting out the cap on the bandsaw, here I'm using my 1-inch belt sander to trim round the edge to make sure it's round. After which I marked a hole exactly in the centre or near enough, drilled it 5/32 of an inch, which is tapping size for 2BA. And with the 2BA Allen bolt in the chuck, as you've just seen, I screwed the brass cap onto the 2BA bolt and now I'm turning the outside edge. It was never going to be perfectly concentric, but by the time I've got it to the finished dimension, the hole in the centre will be exactly in the middle of the cap. This clip is speeded up and I keep stopping the lathe to check the progress. If you're doing a job like this, only take very light cuts. In this clip I'm using a parting tool to finish the job off. I don't need to use a micrometer for this job, I'm using the water tank itself as a gauge. And in no time at all, the inner recess of the lid is a perfect fit in the tank. I've changed the lathe tool from the parting tool to this round nose tool just to remove the sharp edges from each side of the tank lid. Time for a health and safety warning. This is quite a dangerous operation. This is wet or dry sandpaper and I've folded it many times so it becomes like a pad and keeps my finger well clear of the spinning work. So here's the lid for the water tank, and it's looking good and it's quite smooth. Some viewers may be wondering how I'm going to mount the boiler onto the baseboard. Well, it's quite simple really. I was originally intending to use this boiler in a boat, and I wanted to make it simple to remove the boiler from the boat for cleaning, and the cast iron base is just a push fit into this gunmetal ring. I need to drill 4 holes in this part so I can screw the boiler to the baseboard. And it's a good idea to try out the rotary table that I bought from RDG Tools a few weeks ago. Once I set the rotary table in position below the drill bit, I'm able to drill 4 holes in this ring, and these holes are exactly the same distance from each other. It's quite simple and requires a minimum of effort and a minimum of mathematics really. Around the edge of the rotary table it's graduated from 0 to 360 degrees. So if I need 4 holes, I just divide 360 by 4, which is 9,200,551. I really must get a new calculator. The answer really is, and I didn't use a calculator, it's just 90 degrees. So I drill a small hole with the centre drill at 0, 90 degrees, 180 degrees and 270 degrees, and this gives me 4 very evenly spaced holes. Because this gunmetal ring is quite soft, gunmetal by default is quite a soft metal, I didn't want to drill all the way through with it unsupported in the rotary table. So I removed it from the rotary table, and here I'm drilling it in the drilling machine using a drill bit which is 5/32 of an inch in diameter. And once I drilled the holes, I countersunk the holes on the inside to take some countersunk bolts to securely mount this ring to the main baseboard. Then the boiler base is just a push fit into the ring itself. By doing it this way, it makes it really easy to remove the boiler from the installation should the need ever arise. So what's next? It's time to make the knob for the top of the water tank. It starts off with a very small piece of brass in the chuck. This is just an offcut. I drilled a hole in the centre of it using a 5/32 of an inch drill, and here I'm threading it using a 2BA tap. After I threaded the hole in the piece of brass, I moved the piece of brass out in the chuck, which you must never do. Really, I should have used a longer piece of brass. This is not a machine part, so it doesn't need to be 100% accurate. Once the shape of the knob was part finished, I parted it off with the parting tool. That's 3 parts in one sentence, not including this part. Oh dear, that's 5. I screwed a 4BA bolt into the component and then mounted it in the chuck, and tightened it against the chuck jaws using a pair of pliers. And normally I would use something to prevent the pliers from marking the work, but as it's all going to be turned anyway, I didn't need to. I don't want the end of this to be perfectly round. It needs to be sort of an oval shape, a bit like a flying saucer, I suppose. After turning it to size, I removed the tool marks initially with a piece of coarse emery cloth, and as you can see, my hands are nowhere near the chuck. I finally polished this part using my polishing spindle in the outer part of the workshop. Now it's time to fit it to the lid. And to fit it, I'm using a stainless steel bolt through the threaded part of the lid, and I just screwed the knob onto the thread that was sticking out of the lid. Here's the finished lid, and I think it looks okay. Here's another shot of the tank in the approximate position that it's going to be fitted on the baseboard. I'm going to paint the body of it black to match the engine. Here you see the complete kit of parts all ready to be mounted to the baseboard. And that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful.